Yo, welcome back to my late night spook show here on the Horror and Metal channel. I'm Hellhound, and I figured I'd go and take a look at my top 10 metal albums from 1985. Alright, number 10, Walls of Jericho by Helloween. This is their debut album, and the only one featuring guitarist Kai Hansen on vocals. Really good album, especially if you like power metal. So yeah, if you haven't heard it, do yourself a favor, check it out. Walls of Jericho by Helloween, my 10th favorite 1985 metal album. 1985 was my favorite year, by the way. Number 9, Screamin' and Bleedin' by Angel Witch. One of two albums with Dave Tatum on vocals, and I actually prefer his singing voice to Kevin Hayborn, sorry to say. He had that kind of deep, almost baritone, really cool voice. Yeah, Who's to Blame is an awesome song. It's actually one of my favorite metal songs ever. It blew me away when I first heard it. So yeah, if you haven't checked this album out, do yourself a favor and give it a listen. It's not quite as iconic as their 1981 debut, but I think it's just as great in different ways. It sounds a lot different, and I think it's just really awesome. Yeah, Screamin' and Bleedin' by Angel Witch. Number 8, Seven Churches by Possessed. This is their debut album, and many consider this the very first death metal album as well. Yeah, Jet Becerra on bass and vocals, Larry Lalonde, who'd go on to play for Primus on guitar. Yeah, great lineup, great songs, awesome album. Seven Churches by Possessed. Check it out. Number 7, it's going to be Sacred Heart by Dio. Oh yeah, the master himself, Ronnie James Dio. Those powerful pipes are just, he could hit those notes like it was nobody's business, and this album's a testament to that. He had a great lineup as well. Yeah, really, really, really good album. Sacred Heart by Dio. Love it. Dio was one of my idols, one of my all-time heroes. I would have loved to have met him someday. Rest in peace. Number 6, Endless Pain by Kreator. This is their debut album. What's cool about this album is guitarist Mille Petroza and drummer Jürgen Winter-Reel both shared vocal duties. They both sang on this album, something that I wish they would have done throughout their career, because Jürgen Reel had a pretty cool metal voice. Whereas Mille Petroza's vocals were kind of more of a raspy shriek. Jürgen Reel's vocals were kind of a low, demonic growl, which is really cool how they switched off. It sounded really awesome. But yeah, this is their first album, and still one of their best, I think. Yeah, Endless Pain by Kreator, their debut album, and like I said, still one of their best. Alright, down to the top 5. Man, that was a great year for thrash metal, wasn't it? Number 5, the debut album of Megadeth, Killing Is My Business, and Business Is Good. I don't like this quite as much as, say, Peace Sells or Rust in Peace, but still a solid debut. They don't play these songs live very much, if at all. Yeah, Dave Mustaine was so angry back then, you could hardly understand what he's saying. It just sounds like, kill Metallica, you know. But yeah, still a solid metal album for sure. Yeah, Mechanics is kind of like his version of Four Horsemen of Metallica, since he wrote that song originally, and then they changed the lyrics, and you know, but I guess I won't get into all that. It's a long story. But yeah, great debut album, great thrash metal recording. Yeah, Dave Mustaine and co. really were off to a good start. They were out for blood. Number 4, To Megatherion by Celtic Frost. Oh yeah. Thomas Gabriel Warrior. His guitar, his riffs, and his vocals are on point here. This is my favorite album that Celtic Frost ever did, for sure. It's just awesome. I consider it a masterpiece. I'd say if you haven't heard it yet, definitely give it a listen. You won't be disappointed. Yeah, there they are. Rest in peace, Martin Eric Ain. Celtic Frost, their best album, To Megatherion. Check it out. Number 3, Bonded by Blood by Exodus, their debut album and their only studio release to feature the late Paul Baloff on vocals. I've already talked about this album ad nauseum on this channel, so, you know, I've reviewed it as well, so check that out for more info. But yeah, just to summarize, yeah, great songs like the title track, and then there were none, A Lesson in Violence, Piranha, hell yeah, Strike of the Beast. Great album. It's a thrash metal masterpiece. Paul Baloff's vocals were so awesome. The man was just thrash metal incarnate. He just lived and breathed metal. And of course, Gary Holt's one of my favorite guitarists as well. His riffs and solos are on point. Just top notch as always. Yeah, Bonded by Blood. Alright, number 2 is going to be another thrash metal masterpiece, Spreading the Disease by Anthrax. The first to feature vocalist Joey Belladonna and bassist Frank Bello. Yeah, great album. Songs like AIR, Lone Justice, Madhouse, which was a big radio hit. The Enemy, which is probably my favorite Anthrax song. I think it's underrated. I wish they'd play it live more. Armed and Dangerous, Medusa! Yeah, great album. It was their second album, and still probably my favorite, as a matter of fact. It's a close-up between this and Persistence of Time from the Belladonna era, but yeah, I just love it. Yeah, Spreading the Disease by Anthrax. Great album. Honorable mentions, if I think of any, I'll leave them in the description below. As for my number 1 favorite metal album from 1985, it's going to have to be Hell Awaits by Slayer. Oh yeah, you probably saw this coming. Yeah, my only complaint about this album is it's too short. It only has 7 tracks. It could have, and some of them are kind of longer, but it should have had like 13 tracks, because I don't ever want this album to end when I spin it on my record player. Oh yeah, Tom Araya really was the voice of hell back then. Those low demonic growls and hisses and high-pitched screams were just awesome. Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman, their riffs and solos are just spectacular. Just so aggressive and violent and just venomous and just heavy as hell. And Dave Lombardo, my favorite drummer, his beats are just precise and just oh so good, just marvelous. But yeah, Hell Awaits by Slayer, my number 1 favorite metal album from 1985. Oh yeah. Alright guys, well, those were my top 10 favorite metal albums from 1985. Be sure to leave your choices in the comments below. And like I said, if I think of any honorable mentions, I'll put them in the description. As always, thank you for watching my late night spook show here on the Horror and Metal channel. I'm Hellhound. Till next time. Later.